Alrighty everybody, today we are here with another weapon update and another crafting update and another armor update and another crafting update. So today I'm thinking we'll kick it off at the armor shop. So recently they released the floor at the public at 2 AM this morning Central Standard Time, and I got off at level 32 to where I'm at now. So we're gonna go with the Dark Villain. As you can see, Dark Villain is no longer 10,000 or 11,000 with 668 health. It's 12,588. Explorer is, let's see if that changed. Nope, it's no longer 10,588. It's 10,633. That's the Explorer code now. So those are the armor updates on those. Let's go check to the weapon shop updates real quick. So with the weapon shop updates, the Jungle Dagger, which if you recall, level 32, yup, 598 damage now. Jungle Greatsword had 2,000, yup, 2,178 damage, level 32. And the Jungle Rapier is what I'm currently using, which has 544, level 32. So not too much of a change. The one-hand straight sword still does level 32 at 1,089 damage. So I'm sorry if I'm kind of talking fast. I'm trying to speed this up real quick. I gotta take care of a few things for work. So we're gonna go to the weapon crafting. As you can see, Emerald Cleaver, let's check that out. Everybody's hyped for that. It's now 3,800 damage at level 40. You need the Emerald Blade and the Petrified Handle to craft that. The Leaflet, you need the Jungle Blade and the Root Blade. As you can see, I already have that, and I already farmed and grinded and crafted the Leaflet yesterday during testing. That is 712. Which bear in mind, as people were asking me, which one is stronger compared to the Emerald Cleaver? Personally, in my opinion, it depends on the weapon. As I said before in the commentary, Emerald Cleaver, it lacks the consistency on swinging faster, landing more hits. Leaflet daggers, they hit more damage in short amount of range in about 8 to 9 hits, more than a rapier can hit faster with damage consistency as 6 to 7 hits. And that is the Leaflet compared to the rapiers, compared to the emeralds. Now as for the root splitters, two hands, as I said, they lack the consistency and speed enough to hit them, and fast. Okay, so that much you get. The Springer is what I'm going to craft now. As you can see, I got all the materials, which requires one Gator Scale, one Jungle Blade crafted, one Root Handle crafted, and the Turtle Shell crafted. And I will get into the details of those here in a moment. Let's craft the Springer. There we go, only level 32, came here at level 25, and there we fucking go. Hell yeah. Now, let's go over to the Vine Splitter. As you can see, the Vine Splitter is another one-handed weapon. As you remember, it was 1,080 damage, or 1,082 damage, and now it's 1,296. Check the last stream if you want a full comparison update. Compared to the Springer, it was no longer 1,568. It's now 1,700 damage flat, as you can see, which is very interesting if you think about it, because they had nerfed not only the damage on these, but the boss, if you recall correctly from yesterday, was able to 4-tap me for 1,300 damage to 2,100 damage on a crit in the consistency with that too. So I was only able to withstand 4 hits with the Alpha Worm Coat. Now, the boss on crit does 6,300 damage, and then by default flat damage without the consistent crit, it does, if I recall correctly, 4,100, nearly 4,200 damage. So if you got 10k health, and if I can level with 31 armor, it's going to drop you down to, without a crit, to 6,000 health. If it's going to drop you down with a crit for the 6,000 plus crit, it's going to drop you down to 4,000 health. So you got to really be careful with those 1 to 2 taps now, or 1 to 3 taps. So, honestly, I have to say it depends on the weapon style. To answer your question, whoever asked about the weapon, and which is stronger, the Emerald Greatsword or not, well, I have to say it really depends on the weapon style. Like, that's the truth. If you're playing with the dagger is gonna freaking do 8 to 9 hits. Because normally the daggers in this game, as well as any other SAO game, do 9 to 12 hits on a combo for a skill. So in this game in particular, it's 8 to 9 hits. While the Rapier in particular does, as I counted yesterday if you recall correctly, fight the Golem, weak as fuck, it does 7 hits. And if I'm lucky on little fucking gators, or little golems, that does 4 to 5 hits. I have to be lucky enough to get 5 hits in if I'm gonna fucking dodge, or actually get my last hit in before I choose to dodge and clutch it. So that is another thing y'all need to be careful with, and that is another thing you should pay attention to, is mechanics. When it comes to video games, not every weapon is meant out to be strong in every powerhouse, unless you're wanting to fucking be that cheap motherfucking piece of shit and go into PvP using the Emerald Cleaver and just one tap everyone on sight and dodge. That's a different story. That's PvP right there. Now, yes, Leaflet is really fucking strong for that amount of damage. You do 700 times fucking 8. 712 times 8. That's a lot of fucking damage. 700 and 700 already as it is, it's 1,400. You times more by that. 7,000, 7,000, 1,400, 1,400, 1,400, 1,400. 4 times. Like that. Okay? That's a lot of fucking damage. That's over 5k damage in consistent hits. Crazy shit. That's crazy fucking shit. 5,000 damage in over fucking... What? 8 hits? Okay, yeah, Dagger's broken like that. It really do be like that. And I sadly to say, it's the truth. It's the cold truth. As for Root Splitter, as I went over before, yes, it does now. 2,500 damage. It's no longer 2,200 flat. Springer, we're going to go over this as a double check for people who are missing the stream. 1,700 flat now. So the Springer is 1,700 flat now. It's no longer 1,568 or 58. So they upped it on that. Which, you know, it makes a lot of sense if they did, because since they did, it compensates for the amount of damage that could be output towards the boss. I can 3-tap someone with fucking 10,000 health. It's freaking crazy. Now, if you get 2-tap, that just means you got 6,000 crits on you. Come on now. Use the math. Use your brain. Use your mechanics. Use your meta fights. This may be Roblox, but meta still applies to mechanics in fighting. Now, if we go over here, we're going to start it from the top. Emerald Blade. As the Emerald Blade states, it's 60 of value. Okay, it's a material. It takes a green emerald, which you can farm from the Jungle Guardian, as well as you can get moss from any other freaking mob in this dungeon or freaking game on this floor 4. Alright, the oak sapling, that comes from, I think the Trent or the turtles, which the turtles have a lower likely chance. The turtles also drop the turtle shell, which also crafts for the Emerald Blade and many other stuff. So oak saplings and turtle shells come from the turtles as well as the Trent for the boss. Now Dread Tree, whatever they want to call it. And then we have the Jungle Blade, which the Jungle Blade takes, as you can see, 10 leaves. I only have 7 because I just crafted one. And then we have the moss bundles, which, if you bear in mind this really important fact, a lot of these base mechanics for crafting is the same concept as Floor 3. The very same concept. So when you play Floor 3, and if you all get up to that point, you realize that on Floor 3, snow can become packed ice off putting 4 snowdrops together from any area in that. It's the same concept for the moss bundle. The moss bundle enhanced by moss. So if you got 3 moss, which is very hard to get on the grind now, if you don't have a party, 3 moss makes 1 moss bundle. So you're gonna be like, if you're not strong enough and you came in here at this floor like level 25 like I did, or below 31, then you're gonna be grinding on the go for a little bit, and it's gonna take a few. So look out for that. Petrified handle. As you can see, that is a handle that comes from the boss. Now the boss, that does 6,200 damage on crit and 4,100 damage on base flat damage. Now, Gator Scale. As you know, everybody knows that Gators is the easiest way to farm even in public access. Stand on a rock, stand on a specific point, don't get hit from a range and still get damage in them. Petrified Oak, that comes from the boss. Root Trunk, these comes from golems, the guardians, and the fucking rocks outside that hit like a motherfucker and fucking AoE splash damage. So if you don't manage to count how many times you hit with your sword and know when they're gonna swing their arms and back the fuck off, you're gonna get splash damage all to fucking hell. And that's the sad part. Because you could get 1-tapped or 2-tapped, depending on what you're wearing for high and low level. And 3-tapped, if you really, got the maxed out armor from the boss. So that is the Petrified handle. Petrified Oak comes from the boss, in the boss tower. Gators, outside the boss tower, the Gators. Easy farm. EXP too. Root Trunk, that comes from, golems. and the root handle. This is what you so these primary crafting materials are what you're gonna need. So if you're gonna want to craft a weapon, these are the materials you want to go for, and I'm saying this as advice. Okay, the leaf that comes from wasps, it comes from golems or guardians, it also comes from gators and the turtles. That's one thing. Root trunks, they come specifically from the turtles as a lower drop, but more from golems and the guardian. So those ones you can really easily farm if you count how many times you fight and hit and then back off. So that's really easy to know, and remember that when you're fighting the golems and the guardian, you remember how many times you hit, and compared to how many times you hit is going to be the amount of time you're going to have to back off before you get one tapped. Okay, that's the root handle. That is the root trunk and the leaves. Okay, those are main primary crafting materials. Gator skills, as you know, they're really easy to get. They're really good to farm on XP. They're inside the tower. I'll go over that here in a few later today, because I got to get work done today. Petrified oak, that comes from the boss. That is something to really be careful. You need to party for that now, as you did before. Root trunk, as I said before. Root handle, pay attention, look back on that. I'm not going to repeat that. Moss bundle, as you know, same concept compared to packed ice and snow. Jungle blade, leaf and moss bundle. So the moss bundle here, you're going to combine 3 moss, as I said. There you go. Emerald blade. You got to get the emerald from the boss, or you got to get the emerald from the mini boss, the jungle guardian. So all of these are main concepts for crafting, and the main ones that you want to look for is, if you want to go for a strong weapon, turtle shell and moss bundles and green emerald. If you want to go for like a mid-tier weapon, the jungle blade for leaves and moss bundles, and the bottom one, which is the root handle. So you're going to need the root trunk and leaves there too. So that will create and craft what you need as a weaker weapon for a lower tier weapon. So a lot of those is what you're going to be looking out for the lower tier weapons compared to the mid tier weapons, and the two-hand, which is basically a truck house. It's a semi. It hits like a semi. That's all it is. You know, it doesn't swing fast, but it does dish out enough damage. So be careful with that. Armor crafting. We're going to go on to the armor crafting. I have yet to craft any armor. Royal Guard. Okay. Ape fur. You need 6 ape fur, which drops from King Kong's outside. And then you got the angry Beedrill cousins of Pedgey from the 2 streams ago. Yeah, those drop the wasp wings. Those are angry Beedrill cousins. Then we got leaves for the light leaf armor, which is level 38. Royal Guard. Bear in mind, Royal Guard is level 35. Light leaf armor is level 38. The comparison to them is very huge and significant if you're considering how many hits you can take. So the Royal Guard you can take from the boss, I'd say at least 3 to 4 hits. If he doesn't crit you, 3 hits. So light leaf armor, in comparison, you can take 4 hits if you're lucky and you don't get crit another time. 5 hits, 19,000 health there. 38 for the light leaf armor. Royal Guard, 35 armor for the 14k. Alright, and then you need 8 fur and wasp wing from the angry cousins and King Kong. Okay, we got light leaf. You need moss bundle. You need leaf. So you already know about that. You already know about trunks. Okay, and then jungle guardian. Jungle guardian, you need 1 gator scale. You need 1 green emerald. You need 1 petrified oak. Which, bear in mind, petrified oak comes from the boss. Turtle shell comes from the turtles. Alright, now always pay attention for when they attack. The indicators for wasps. Wasps are very tanky. They can 2-tap you if you're below level 31. So you need to pay attention to when they're going to launch their fucking butt backwards and sting you like a fucking Beedrill. And then for the gorillas, you need to hit them once, aggro their attack, and you can at least get, if you're level 32, level 31, you can get 4 hits in and take 2 hits in return. So that's the gorillas that drop the gorilla armor for the fur. Okay, and then over for the boss giants, you need to pay attention to how many times you really can attack. You really need to pay attention to that, because if you do not pay attention to that, right then and there, the indication when you attack and how many times you're attacking, you're not going to know when to back off. And you're either going to, A, clutch in with a party and all of you are going to get 2-tapped or 1-tapped, or B, you're going to get 1-tapped yourself, or you're going to get 2-tapped and you're going to be clutching off little health. And if you don't have any potions, well, then you're fucked. Okay, those are the golems and the guardian. Alright, for turtles. Turtles, you need to be careful because they do have a range and a radius on their attack. If you were watching the radius on the previous 2 streams, their radius is like decently big, so it's also decently small. So if you're right in front of them and they attack fast as fuck, they're basically the turtle zoomers. They're the Ninja Turtles. They fucking attack fast as hell. So you be careful with those. And when you got a teammate, you can attack them from behind and you can't take damage, while the other teammate is from front, keeping aggro, doing damage and tanking it and fucking, keeping attention. Okay, crocodiles. Crocodiles, I recommend that you farm outside the boss door. If you want to really go for XP, outside the boss door on the rocks. I'll let you figure it out from there. It's not that hard. Okay, boss. As I said, be the fucking careful guy. If you get 2 tapped, that's your fault for knowing that. You get 3 tapped, cool, great for you. You just didn't suffer 1 extra crit. You get 4 tapped, well, congratulations, Cupcake. You just managed to get an upgrade. Welcome to the Bouncing Betties, the Claymores, and freaking bullshit like that. Alrighty, everybody, and that is an update on the ending of all of the updated armor so far since the 2 a.m. and 4:30 a.m. patch. So look out for this information. I will post a lot more information on the channel so you can keep up to date on the crafting, the weapons, the armor crafting, the weapon crafting, a lot of this stuff. So you need to know on what you're going to be going into if you're coming from floor 3, or you're just that one casual nub who wants to play a game at level 25 and then freaking get into a testing phase and you don't know what you're getting into and nearly die. The process skeleton type. So yeah, yeah. So we got this happy face, and we're all gonna just end it off here. We're gonna give it a nice wave to everybody. And I hope you all have a nice fucking day and a nice lovely morning. Y'all take care.